and this is the Art of Thinking Out Loud. Live Common Sense Analytics. Glad to be back, y'all. Yeah, man, glad to be back. You know, I had to take a little time out to finish working on the book, Smartphones for Dumbass People, and a few other books. And, but later for that. But what I wanted to get into real quick was this signal on 10-4. 10-4 being the affirmation for dispatch. Now, you need to ask yourself, what is being dispatched? What is this signal being tested for on 10-4? They're telling us a myriad of different things, but all I could tell you is this: anytime they give you anything on a specific date that's used in a number combination that we take on a day-to-day basis, 911, 9/11, 3/11, the start of the whole pandemic and everything. These are all number patterns that tie into a lot of other sciences. Some of them are actually serial numbers, parts of like serial numbers for patents, but that's a whole nother story. But let's talk about a few things that's been in the news lately, and of course this garbage rap music. I mean, we talk about that a lot anyway, but I'm glad to see a lot more people are starting to see through the whole Sexy Red hoax. I told y'all from the beginning, it's like the joke has been that's Young Thug. Yeah, they're saying that's Young Thug in prosthetics. I didn't come up with it. It's what was said, and there are people making very good correlations and, doing very good research, coming up with some nice opinions on things. And I can't argue with none of it. All I can do is take it all in and weigh it against what I come up with. And what I come up with is that she's an industry plant. 90% of these rappers are like industry plants. I mean, you can name whomever, Ice Spice, all of them, Glorilla, all of them, Lotto, all these people are plants. We watch Lotto get developed on the rap game with Jermaine Dupri. She went into the form of rap he told her she shouldn't go into, and that's this whole like stripper slut shit that everybody is doing. But it's like, honestly, I feel like it's the fall of female MCs. People say, how you figure that? Because, don't get me wrong, there's a place for Sexy Red. There's a place for Nicki Minaj, Cardi, Lotto, Sukihana, all of them. There's a place for all of them, but there should not be an oversaturation of these women in the industry. There shouldn't be. It shouldn't be to where when you start thinking about lady rappers, female rappers who don't sell themselves as like sexual items, then it's like you start thinking about names like Cyrock, Rhapsody, and people like that. But it's like the names are limited because right now all of these young girls think that you have to be a slut to get in the industry. Think that you have to play by like certain rules and things in the game, which is like all of this shit just leads back to more soul selling. Nobody wants to be a skilled MC anymore because everybody has been dumbed down. I knew this was coming years ago when I was rapping and I was spitting bars, and guys would be like, man, that shit too rapidy rap, bro. That shit too complicated. That shit is too this, too that. It's like, man, motherfuckers just want to vibe to it. They just want to bob their head and go. And it's like, my reply was like, damn, nigga, are you 3? It's like you're not supposed to still be vibing at a damn third, fourth grade level. But when we think about everybody vibing at this third, fourth grade level, we have to go back and we have to think about the book Behold a Pale Horse by William Cooper. He said that society is kept intentionally at a third and fourth grade level, meaning the songs. Let me tell you something. When you think about the music that's come out in the last 30 years, the music that's come out in the past 30 years in popular culture, if you were to take the vocabulary for each one of these songs, none of these songs went above a fourth grade vocabulary until you start talking about people like, KRS-One and people like that. But when you start talking about your average rapper or your average R&B singer, they use the same 3 and 4 letter words, it's the same cachet of phrases, the same cadence, the same everything. And it's like, as long as everybody is on the same level, you have this hive mind, hence the beehive, hence all of these different followings and groups that go after these certain artists. Like, Nicki Minaj has the Barbs, Cardi got her people, and it's actually sickening. It's sickening that people go to the point where you become fanatics. You're not even just fans. You become straight fanatics. And when I say not just fan, meaning that you're not just somebody that's like, a very strong supporter. I call those just average fans. Strong supporters I call average fans. You get to like fanatics when you start feeling like you have to join social groups with these other followers and you have to have something disparaging to say about somebody because they don't like this particular artist or they don't like this particular artist's music. Then you have then joined a cult. See, people ain't gonna look at it like that. I feel like you've joined a cult when you get in these cult followings of these artists who aren't even in control of themselves. Y'all talk about soul selling. Let me tell you what I consider soul selling. Soul selling for me is wanting a record deal. Soul selling to me is being in such pursuit of said record deal that you're willing to change whatever you were doing to fit said industry. Meaning, I've seen some young ladies who were hella talented, could sing, dance, rap, poetry, choreograph, all type of shit, produce, arrange, mix, master. I mean, like a one-man show. But because the type of music that they were doing was deemed not what everybody else wanted, and nobody told them that they didn't want their music. The record company told them that because they have a target audience that they're trying to reach. Who is their target audience? Dumbasses. Dumbasses, as I like to call them. Purposeful idiots. I call this our purposeful retardation. It starts in the school system and it's played out in our entertainment. It's played out in our everyday lives. We don't even try to expand our vocabulary anymore. We deal with the same 3 and 4 letter words. It's like when you say something, when you use a word now that's something outside of like other people's normal everyday conversation, they look at you like you crazy or you think you're better than them. See, and this is a very divisive form of thinking. And this is all done purposely. It's done purposely because if you can get people to think that anyone who uses scientific nomenclature, who use any type of, above average, vocabulary, linguistics, that something is wrong with them and that you're the normality, then we live in bizarro world. When you feel like Sexy Red is just all right, she cool. Like, it's cool to have this shit on the radio. We live in bizarro world. When Maxine Waters compared WAP to Aretha Franklin's Respect and said WAP is now considered one of the songs for womanhood, and they're considering putting it into the Library of Congress under said title. Come on, man. And you wonder who in control. It ain't hard to tell. And this ain't got nothing to do with Democrats or Republicans. It's got to do with good and evil. None of these fools are good. None of these labels are good. None of these artists are good. None of these entertainers, these people that you look up to, that you idolize, that you put up on a pedestal, these people are paid actors, from the rappers to the athletes to the actual actors to your newscasters to everybody you see in front of a camera. About 85 to 90% of them are actors. People are like, what you talking about? You can look at the news. Look up Talking Heads. The same thing said on our news station in Cincinnati is said on the news stations in Washington, in the DMV, in Los Angeles, in Houston, Dallas, Detroit, Chicago, everything. The newscasters read off of a universal script. That's why they call it the what's that? They call it the conjoined media, or they call it, something like that. And it's because they agree upon the news story before they put it out, meaning they have to have a certain cachet of facts, a certain litany of things that they're going to say, points that they have to reach, and trigger words. There are a lot of trigger words being put out in society that, unless you understand psychology, and not just any psychology, unless you understand how phrases affect people, how words affect people, how words can make a person emotional, then you probably won't understand what I'm talking about when I say trigger words. Certain words I can't use that are trigger words because this video will get snatched down. This audio, video, everything will get snatched down. But certain words, like you'll hear a word said on a commercial, and then you'll hear that word used in movies. Then you'll hear rappers using it. Then you'll hear it said at a football game. Then you'll hear your favorite R&B artists, your Beyoncés, your Rihannas, your Taylor Swifts, all of that. You'll hear them mention it. It's because this word has been layered. This word they're using hypnotism on you. People are like, oh man, you sound crazy. Oh, I sound crazy? You don't think you're hypnotized? Okay, then try processing new information. Try taking in some new information about something that you thought you knew about. See how hard it is for you to process that information. It's because you've been conditioned from birth all the way up till now. So your basic operating system, your mind, your basic operating system has been given school, has been given religion. I went over this before, has been given school, religion, has been given, what you learned from your parents, your morals and your values, and you take these things through life with you. Well, as you take these things through life, you'll get adjusted. What I mean by you'll get adjusted is you'll find out that sometimes these things you learned have to be, they have to be more modernized, meaning that some of them are useful when you can take them to a next level, like religion, for example. People still want that old time religion. I mean, that's cool. That's cool. If that's what you want, that's what you want. I don't want old time religion. I don't want modern religion. I don't want future religion, because I don't rely on anybody but myself. I'm not part of anybody's legion. I'm part of my own construct. This is why in the scriptures it says in the book of Psalms 82:6, ye are gods, yet you shall die like men, meaning that you have a capacity to become something greater than you think you are, because everything is about what goes on in your mind. That's why everything that's designed to keep you under control is primarily audible. And I know y'all like, what is he talking about? It's primarily audible. It's primarily audible, meaning they can put something on television. You could turn your head, but you can't unhear something. Like you can't unsee something, but you can turn your head before you see something. You can't turn your head and not hear something. You hear things that you don't even think you hear. This is where subliminal, this is where, like, where they start using sublime subjugation, where you're hearing one thing, yet what's implied is something else. You may not think that you're getting what's implied, but your subconscious mind is way more intelligent than your dumbass mind that operates every day. So the proverbial they know that your subconscious mind processes information on a deeper level that 99% of us don't even understand. And that's how they corral us every day. That's how they move us. That's how they shift our energy. That's how they get us to go to concerts, concerted events where you get frequencies, wavelengths, you get tones, tonation, you get words, triggers, trauma, everything fed to you over a soundtrack live. And you're then surrounded by a bunch of other people that help to create this atmosphere that's not a very plausible atmosphere, but it makes sense for the ritual. Most concerts don't make sense. And I don't think a lot of people really think about that. What does your favorite artist stepping out of a portal, stepping out of a giant Moloch mouth, walking into portals, all the fireworks and explosions that create symbolisms in the air and, over the crowd, people dying at concerts. So they say, this is all designed because if they can traumatize you and they can get you to accept trauma as normalized, then you live your everyday life under duress. And you don't even know that you live under duress. You're stressed 24/7, which is why so many of us develop cancers, which is why so many of us have strokes. We develop all type of other illnesses. It's because Things you take in psychologically that affect you neurologically and everything affects your physicality. You know, too much stress on a person's mind will manifest in their body. This is why Big Pharma is able to sell so much. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're able to stay up on top of things, drugs. This is why mental health is a big thing. See, y'all thinking mental health is the crazy ass dude or the crazy ass lady that's, you know, talking to, you know, herself or whatever. No, everybody is crazy. This is why they have so many drug commercials on television. You know, and then have any of y'all ever noticed that it's like a lot of these drugs sound like quote unquote black people's names? Maybe I'm reaching, but I hear a lot of these drugs and they sound like black folks' names, which I think is another trigger that, you know, they're using to attract black customers. Maybe I'm reaching, but I take nothing off the table. But this is how this whole mental health situation comes about. You know, if everybody is dependent upon a pill, is dependent upon a serum, is dependent upon a vaccination to give you health, then you've completely lost faith. For those of you that claim you're religious or you believe in God. What happened to the book of Genesis where it says, I've given you every herb to use, every plant and herb to use? All of these pharmaceuticals are made from the same plants and herbs that the Most High told us to use. Why go buy the pharmaceuticals? Just get the damn plant. Oh, I don't want to pay that much for no damn sea moss. I don't want to pay for no damn elderberry. I don't want to pay for this. I don't want to pay for that. Why? You go pay hiked up prices for these medications that, hell, these medications aren't even curing you. They're suppressing symptoms and prolonging your illness. So would you rather just live with a condition, or would you actually want to make a change and evolve, grow, heal yourself? See, most people don't want to have that conversation because most of y'all are lazy as hell. If you told y'all to stop eating for a couple days, when you act like somebody is killing your ass. No, you keep eating like that, you are killing your ass. Know what I'm saying? You don't even know what you eat. When you eat all this processed shit every day, all day, and then you wonder why you got a damn attitude. You wonder why you can't like concentrate. You wonder why you can't get anything accomplished. You wonder why you have other health issues. It's because of our diet. And I'm not even just talking about your nutritional physical diet. I'm talking about your diet as far as not even just what you ingest food wise, but what you ingest psychologically. Some of y'all don't do nothing but watch violent shit all day. Some of y'all don't do nothing but watch, man, sexual shit all day. You listen to this messed up ass violent sexual music. You take on these phrases. Everybody is a op, you know. Every woman is a bitch, a hoe. You know what I'm saying? Your pussy pink, your booty hole brown. You know what I'm saying? You had sex raw. You'll spend that 500 before I ever trap you. We promoting abortion. You know, this is the sickest time I can think. When I go back and I do research over different periods of time, this is a very sick period of time. Very sick. But we're going to go into that another time. This your man, Honorable October 9. This is the Art of Thinking Out Loud, Common Sense Analytics. I'll catch y'all on the next one.